Hi, it's Stacy with So Steady, and I'm so excited to be here to share with you some amazing opportunities we have for you again for our holiday deals. So, we're coming in to you live with Donelle McAdams, who has shared with you some of her favorite fun holiday deals that we've got going on through the weekend. So, this is part of our Black Friday specials as well as a bonus item and that Donnell was so kind to share with us. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share some links with you after as well and throughout to get you excited to take advantage of some of these offers. A really fun little project idea that we want you to have right now. So, Donnell, I'm going to let you take it away.
Hi everyone, I'm Donelle McAdams, and I'd like to invite you into my sewing studio. Welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to share with you some of my favorite tools that go with my Sew Steady table. So come on over, have a look. So first off, I would like to show you my wish table. This is the 22.5 by 25.5 table, and it is the one that has that nice big blue drawer. And you're going to be able to store just about anything in that drawer that has to do with your sewing machine. And of course, you could put some candy in there too if you wanted. But I like to have my needles, and as you even saw, I even have a bag here that says bad. Those are my bad needles so that I know the difference in those. So I have all of that. That table will, or that drawer will slide out completely. But as you can see, I haven't even gotten down to the front of the table yet. As I pan down here, you can see we've got that nice ruler that is on the table. And that's actually on the bottom of the table so that it's not, raised or interfering or anything like that. All of our tables, no matter what table you have, this being the wish table, are custom cut so that the size is just right for your machine. And all you have to do is tell them what make and model of machine that you are going to be using that table on. And I will tell you, they're game changers. You're going to absolutely love having a table. And of course, I love the wish table. I didn't mention, but the legs that you see over there, they just, as I say, wobble on and wobble off. You don't have to use any screwdriver or anything. And they're also leveling. So if the table underneath your table here is not so level, you'll still be able to get that level. And another great feature that I absolutely love is the fact that all of the edges are beveled. So you can see that they are going to be rounded so that your quilt will just slide right off of there. And the cord that you see there, I'm going to pull this out. The cord that you see there is my light stick. And that light stick is only about a 1/2 inch thick. It's an LED light that just has a touch button. And so what can you use that for? Well, it's great for paper piecing. It's great for transferring designs. So if you wanted to transfer a design to one of your stabilizers, you can see that you can see right through that to do that. So I know many people are having a go at paper piecing, and that's been one of the latest, greatest uses for the light stick. And of course, that light stick can be put under any of our acrylic tables so that you can make the end of your table a light table. And another thing that I absolutely love and don't sew hardly anything without is our glider. And this happens to be the grid glider. You can see I'm kind of taking it slow because I'm lining up with my center left to right of my needle. There's a line right over here that I'm lining up with, and I'm lining up front to back. Now I'm off just a little bit front to back, so I'm going to pull that over. And when this quits clinging, you're going to be able to just wipe it with a baby wipe and it will cling again. And this just makes everything so easy to slide and glide, and it just makes your work much easier to do. So that is our glider. And I'm going to show you a couple of other things that we have in our So Steady product line. And one of those is my centering ruler. And this ruler is sold and made by So Steady. And it is, as you can see, numbered one way on one side and numbered from the center out on the other side. So we call it our 12.5-inch centering ruler. And there's so many uses for that. You've obviously got your 1/8-inch line and your 1/4-inch line. If you were using this to work with your templates and your rulers and you wanted to do like cross hatching, you've got your 1/4-inch or half. All of those can be used by just putting a piece of staple tape on the back so it will grab your fabric, and then you can do your longer lines. So that again is one of those things that I was making another ruler work this way and decided I might as well actually have that manufactured by So Steady so that we can sell it. So useful. It's 2 inches wide. There's a lot of times when you need to measure 1 inch and you can just put that edge there and measure it. And so this is a very useful tool, again, sold by So Steady. And another pattern that I have is actually called Fan Blade. And you can see this is a template that is made by So Steady that you can get. And this goes with the pattern. The pattern is also available from So Steady. And this is the Fan Blade. Now, the reason for that is this pattern is very, very, I guess the best way to say it is you want every piece cut exactly the same. And so I only cut 2 or 4 layers at a time, and you're going to be able to stack your fabric, find your straight of grain, use your rotary cutter to cut. Now I can tell you when you're cutting this bottom, these are just hints because I know you're going to want to make this pattern. It's so much fun. The bottom and the top, you're not going to be able to use your 45 millimeter rotary cutter. Whenever you're doing a curve, you're going to have to go down to that 28 millimeter or that 18 millimeter rotary cutter, because that's the only way you're going to get an exact curve around that. So let me just show you the ins and outs so we can also get on to showing something else that is a part of our lineup. So that is the Fan Blade template. Again, that is available from So Steady. Now, when you've cut those, they're going to look like this. And so what we're going to do is we are going to be stitching those together. There will be 12 of them. And depending on how many fabrics, you could pick 12. For today's pattern, I only picked 2. So I have stitched them together on this side with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And you can see those are going to be my 2 fabrics. Now, just to save time so that you would be able to see all of the fun parts of what's coming up later, I just went ahead and got it all stitched together. So this is one that is all stitched together. It's ready to go. You can see my curves around the edge here. That is done because of the fact that each of these pieces have that curve. And when I put it on my backing, because this is the backing that I use, I stitched a 1/4 inch away, and then I came back and at every one of these seams, I clipped it right up to my stitching so I would get this nice curve here. So I've got it all ready to do the next step. And the next step is to use our circles and straights tool. So right there is my magic point, because that's where I'm going to put that circles and straights tool to do my perfect circle. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off, although I wouldn't have to. I could just put it on top of that. And this is our circles and straights tool here. It says universal because it works on all machines. Now, it does work better when you have a flat surface such as our extension table here because obviously we're working with flat. I'm going to peel the back of this off. And this is the same kind of a mat as my glider. And so if this gets to the point where it doesn't cling, I simply use a baby wipe. And you can see it's clinging. You can hear it when I pick it up. So I don't need to worry about that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here, and I have got this piece that has, well, it's basically just like a tack that's attached to it. I want to save those 3 little pieces because when I'm done, I put them back on there. And I'm going to guess, well, actually, let's just put it up here so we can kind of see and use our ruler to see what size of a circle we want to do. It looks to me like what we should do is about a 5-inch circle. So what I'm going to do is pull this back, and I have on this tool etchings. Those etchings right there, I am going to line up with the number 5, and I need to make sure I have it straight across and right up and down there. So I'm going to kind of sneak behind the camera here so I can see that. And I want to make sure that that holds in place. Now there's my pin, and I'm going to go ahead and pull this in. And I want to get it right on that X because we don't want a lopsided fan blade here. So now that I've got that right on that X, I've also got another piece of my fusible fleece, because what I like to do is pad this circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to put this pin on the top. And because I want it smaller than my other circle, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to move my needle to the left. Now, sure, I could move the whole tool, but it's just pretty much easy, much easier to be able to just move your needle and get that same effect. So I'm just going to go ahead now and put that foot down, and I'm going to let this just go around. And you can see I really don't have to do much of anything. I'm just kind of splitting my fingers there on that to make sure I hold that flat. And this is why you would want a flat surface. I don't know what I would do without my Sew Steady table, because it makes everything you do so much easier to have this about 12 inches in front of your needle here that's flat. So we're going to get right around. And I left that gold thread in there because I wanted you to be able to see what we were doing. I got right back to where I started. I've just overlapped a little bit. And now I'm just going to cut that thread. And I'm going to cut up next to my stitching. Now I don't need to take it off of there. I'm using my flat kindergarten scissors because I don't want them to get caught in that fleece as it goes around, and it'll just make it so much easier. We're just cutting right up to that. Now remember, I'm going to make my circle bigger when I actually stitch it. And I think I'm actually going to move it out because I want it a little bit bigger than just the 3/8 inch difference. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to put my foot back in center and I'm going to move this out. I'll peel this back so you can see that. I'm going to move it out to 5.5. Now, when you put that on there, you want to make sure it's sealed good, but don't put it on so tight that you can't get it back off. All right. So now you can see the difference of where we're at. And I unthreaded my needle, but that's okay because it's so easy to thread again. And remember, I'm not doing decorative stitching yet. I'm still just getting my fabric ready. And so to save time, I'm just going to kind of find where my center is. And I could have taken the time to actually like put a flower right in the center, which is what we call fussy cut. So right there's my center. And I'm just going to place that on top. Put my pin in place. And then I need to check to see, do I have enough fabric all the way around? I might have put it in too far. So let's get that foot up out of the way. Looks like we're good there. So we're just going to turn it. Looks good. Everything's nice and flat. So now all I do is put that foot down. I always like to put my needle down first. And then we're just going to let this go around. How easy is that? Just making that nice, perfect circle. Oh, I guess we're already around. So now all I have to do is cut that thread. And this time I'm going to use a little pair of embroidery scissors to get in there and get right up against. If you have the little pair of what are called duckling scissors, they're like applique scissors, only they're real small. That works too. But it's best not to take it off of the pen because you run the risk of not getting it back in the exact spot, and then your circles don't line up, meaning your decorative stitch is not going to be exactly on top. So just like that, we've gone all the way around. And now I'm going to switch to a decorative thread on the top. I just had a regular 40 weight thread. And so I want to put a decorative thread on there. I don't know if I want to use gold or I want to use green. So let me get my threads here. And see which one I want to use. I've also used metallic before, and that's really pretty too. So I think I'm going to use the green this time. The fun part of this is if I get it done and I don't like it, oh, I'm not taking it out. I'll just put another color on, go over it, and make it a 2-layered stitch. So it's a lot of fun to play with your stitches on this, just simply because of the fact that most of you have a bunch of stitches on machines that you've never used before. Now make sure if you're using some sort of a specialty thread that you've got that specialty needle in there. Well, I must not have threaded it right. It's dark and, the thread's dark and I'm not seeing it. There we go. All right, we're gonna put that foot up, put that thread back behind there. Make sure you're using the foot that'll allow you to go over thicker surfaces, because what you're going to be doing is putting thread upon thread possibly. And the other thing I will tell you, you can use any of your decorative feet. If you had a candle wicking foot, or you have like a 7-hole cording foot or anything like that, you're going to be able to do that. So let me get in here into our decorative stitches. We've got many stitches, and see exactly what we're going to do here. So just kind of took a little fast cruise through there. And I think what we're going to do first is this stitch right here. It's kind of a scroll looking stitch. And you don't have to worry about stitches moving side to side or front to back. It will do all that just fine for you. And as you can see, I'm just basically doing nothing. You can rub this back. You don't have to. I'm just holding the outer edge here, which is off camera. It'd be like just supporting that outer edge. It's a pretty stitch. You can see, if you can see it coming out there, you can see it as it's coming around. And I've had times when my stitches will kind of mush up a little bit if it's a real heavy stitch and it shows really bad. And what I do with that is I make sure the next time around, actually I do the same stitch again with a different color of thread, but possibly change the foot so that the foot will go over that much easier. Now you might call this raw edge applique because it's cut right up close there, but honestly, it's going to be very, very hard for that to unravel because of the fact that you're putting stitching over the top of it. Now, if you wanted to, on the back of that centerpiece there, you could have put a lightweight fusible, like a lightweight tearaway, or So Steady has a product I really like because it doesn't get stiff or anything, and it's called Temply Fuse, and that would work perfect there too. You can see I really didn't have any problem with that laying flat. We're about halfway around now. This is one of those tools that we call it a tool, but it's actually a toy to me, and that allows you to do so many different things. I have done a circle up to 22 inches in diameter. The tool will allow you to go up to 29 inches in diameter, and the tool itself is marked with the numbers that determine the diameter, not the radius. So when I put this down on 5, you're looking at 2.5 inches from there to there. I actually moved it to 6, so that's more like 3 inches. But I just want you to realize that you don't have to calculate or think, okay, what's the radius, what's the diameter? It's already pretty much built in for you. If you're doing something that needs to meet up and you know you're not going to have a good chance of it meeting up, always start in the busier fabric. I should have started in my reds, not that gold there. but I'm going to do another gold stitch on top of that. So we should be fine. You could actually just set it to your zigzag and zigzag around there so that it looked like you basically had applicated.
So here I am setting it up. I really like how fast it comes together.
Now, once we're getting close, I usually use my bullseye because that will complete the stitch pattern and stop and knot off. And before I do anything drastic, I'm going to look to see, did I cover it? Actually, I need one more. So I'm going to touch the bullseye again and do one more. So I'm going to touch. And then I'm going to cut that. So now, just because of the fact that I want you to see that you can really be creative with this, I'm going to take that gold thread. Actually, I'm going to use red. I think I'll use this red thread. So we're going to just thread it with the red, and I'm going to do that stitch again. Put that underneath the foot there, and I never start anywhere near where I did the time before. So we're going to start right here, foot down, needle down, and oh wow, it looks like I picked another stitch. Let's get back to what I intended. There we go. Always check that because in the process of threading, and this just kind of makes it look like a heathered stitch as it comes around because you've got two threads, same stitch, but different colors. And it just kind of blends them in together. And when I get around, I'm going to do another one out here with a different stitch. Because you can always move out or in, whatever you want to do. And then I can decide, because this is a fusible fleece that I used, and it is not necessary to do any more stitching because I didn't use a batting. If I used a batting, I'd have had to put some more stitches in this, whether it was stitching in all the ditches or doing some quilting or whatever. So you would have needed to do something else. I'm going to leave my thread, the red thread in there. Here we are, back to the beginning. And again, it looks like I need one more. All right, let's see what stitch we want to do now.
Like I said, the one where you could make looks fairly similar to the photo you sent me. It will be a little longer left to right.
This is a pretty stitch here. I think what I'll do is that stitch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move this out just a little bit. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. A little more than that. There we go. All right, let's see what we can do with this. kind of a little scallop stitch that has like a little open eyelet. It makes it so much fun to be able to add all the pretty stitches without having to try and keep them in that perfect circle. So this is telling me that I am out of thread. So I think what I'm going to do is say, we are finished with this part of it. And I'm just going to take this so you can see it by raising that foot and bringing it around so that you can see that. So I'll just take this off and bring this up close so that you can see that decorative stitch there. You can see how that looks, that little eyelet stitch. So thank you for joining me to show you some of my favorites, and especially accessories that go with the Sew Steady tools. And I'm going to back this out just a little bit so you can see more of that as it's finished there. So have a great time with using our extra accessories as you experience your Sew Steady table.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. We have posted a bunch of links for you on some of those favorites that Donnell shared today. A couple questions that came up. Can you use an acrylic insert to work as a light box with that light stick? Absolutely. Those acrylic tables and inserts are perfect for that. And the USB light stick, simply plug it into your machine if you have the USB option on the machine, and then you can just kind of take it and stick it right underneath that area, and it's perfect for turning those into light sticks. The other option too, of course, is if you don't have the USB port on your machine, you can simply plug that into a box. All those USB box out there. I'm sure I have a few in my drawer at home, and I think we probably most of us do. So that's a great solution for that, and just a really simple way to have a light box with a tool you already have. So I hope you've enjoyed some of those amazing opportunities and deals that we've got. Check them all out. I posted a couple links for you throughout, but you can go to our What's New and on Sale on our website to see all of those super deals. Don't forget that we do have a couple of fun things coming up as well. If you want to go ahead and head over to our Sew Steady website, you can check out the Sew Steady Black Friday deals, as well as all of our special holiday offers that we've got going on. So definitely want you to consider that as well. Simply shop our holiday sales. You can click that link, and that's going to take you on over to all of those deals. Anything that's got that green background has got a special offer going, and actually, anything on this page is basically on sale. So, check out all of those super deals. We would love for you to take advantage of some of those stocking stuffer items. And we hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We really love being able to share education with all of you throughout the year. Don't forget that we do have an opportunity for you to win. If you head on over to our blog, you can actually click on our 12 gifts for holiday deals. And right there is another great place to enter to win those holiday deals. All you have to do is type in your name and email and enter the giveaway. So I'm going to go ahead and post another link for that as well. You can enter the giveaway that way, and that's all 12 deals you can enter to win using that link right there. So that's where you can learn more about all of those awesome offers that we've got going for the holiday season, as well as just what our other super deals are as for the holidays too. So we're wishing you all a wonderful holiday weekend. Here in the United States, we're celebrating our Thanksgiving this weekend. So we will actually be closed on Friday here at So Steady, but we'll look forward to being able to share with everyone this coming next week. We've got a special holiday live that we're going to be doing on the 4th, where we'll be doing some live projects with a few of our educators. So stay tuned for more on that shortly, but we'll look forward to giving you all kinds of fun holiday projects to get inspired by over the next week. So, have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. Bye bye.